the time. Okay.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah.
Not it's not necessary to be recorded, but Živka, she will have classes after 10 minutes, because so the time of the classes, which is 40 minutes, is reduced now according to the national exam tomorrow.
Okay.
And we again in some kind of situation that I'm not sure, because she has classes, and is it possible for her to be here with us?
Actually, there is a
She prepared the answer of the questions I have here, answers, but what if you? It depends on what you will decide to read these answers, or what. I'm not sure what to do. If you want to listen to her, or
Sure, I think we can start with her then, maybe. Or if it is getting late for her, there is also a call tomorrow we have placed for the Italian teachers. If she might be able to join on that call and she can register her response, that will also be great. So it is completely up to you. So it's around the same time. It's 12:15 CET.
Утре съм квестор. But she's a quester of the national exams tomorrow, and they start from 38 up to they finish at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So if the meeting is still tomorrow available at 2 o'clock,
I thinking and questions I write and answer. Yes.
So maybe I think I'll start with both of you then. Maybe you can give your answers on this. Then I think maybe the teachers who are coming next will maybe come in. So, I mean, let's get started then. If
Sylvia is also here, so we are here.
Hi, Sylvia. Yeah.
Yeah.
A very good afternoon to everybody. So I think one of the primary aim of this meeting was to understand your experience with Yconic, because this is a very this is a pilot phase of Yconic, if I must say, and we have had a very good run, and we would also like to know your thoughts and understanding and your feedback to improve moving forward what we do in the rollout phase, or what were the opportunities or what were the challenges that you faced, will be mostly the part of this interview, as you have seen the questions. So moving forward to the interview, so one of the basic questions, or one of the first questions that I'd like to ask is, what was your experience in teaching the 4 subjects that was covered in the overarching themes of Yconic?
My experience is modest. I have worked on a task related to environment protection and environmentally friendly way of working and living.
Okay, thank you.
The bad English, but
I got that. That's fine. That's completely fine. I mean, I would like to hear the thoughts of Asya and the other teacher as well.
So you would like to answer both of us answer this question, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm a teacher of geography and economics more than 40 years. So the geography and economics curriculum covers the following topics that are also topics in the Yconic: weather and climate as a part of atmospheric processes, as well as climate change related to the concept of sustainable development and global change. Also energy and energetics, which is we study as a branch of the economy of the secondary sector, and the topic of social justice we in geography study through the prism of global problems such as the food problem in developing countries, social inequalities in economically underdeveloped countries. So that these subjects in geography curriculum that we study, but in different perspectives. And Sylvia, she will explain what is her experience of teaching.
Yeah, well, hi, I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share with you my experience. Well, first of all, I want to thank you because the platform, even though I have been facing some difficulties in signing in, together with the students, we have actually discovered and encountered that the content of the platform is very useful and has upgraded my experience because it connects with further topics and gives me the opportunity to establish subject connections, inter-subject connections. So initially, yes, we have had the opportunity to. This is a topic of our everyday living, but most of all, with the platform, with the Yconic platform, I have been given personally the opportunity to upgrade the experience, which I have.
Okay. That's very great. I think it's a very diverse set of answers that I expected. I mean that came out. So, I mean, moving on to ask before Yconic, how familiar were you with the digital platforms? Because the digital revolution, as we see, is a decade or two. And I mean, with 40 years of experience, like us here, how have you familiarized yourself with the digital platforms for teaching and learning? How familiar are you? I mean, I would like yeah.
So I interesting in using informational and communication technologies in my lessons. So and as well as also internet resources in teaching geography and economics. Because it allows me to have more interactivity and to achieve better learning goals, as well as for achieving high levels of educational content. So as you know, maybe you know, I'm participated in the development of educational platform which is called Let's Act, and it is the platform which is related to global sustainable development goals. And together with PIA, we work together under this. It's also Erasmus Plus project, educational platform, and also I use also digital backpack, which is a platform of our Ministry of Education, where there are also some examples of how we can use the internet platforms, and as well as I use geographic and information system. To present geographical content in the 10th grade and to present certain topics like geographical location, population, and transportation. As well as I also have a thesis, written thesis for this these themes, and I received a professional qualification degree. So I'm familiar with the using of digital platforms to present geographical content.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Живка, опита с платформата.
Before we move on, is it possible for the three of you to just type your names in the chat box, because we can record the names also. I am with all the translation that was there on the email thread. I was not able to quite catch your names, so it would be great if you could type out your names on the chat box. It would be great. Yeah.
Okay. В чат-бокса да си напишем имената само. Тук долу.
I want to have my school, but Asi read my answer. Става ли?
Yeah. I mean, you can share your thoughts. Oh, you have a class. Okay.
Yeah, she has a class. She has to go because she has class.
Живка. Добре.
Okay.
Добре, напиши имената, както Живка.
Живка Владова. Живка Владова. Силвия Донова. Силвия Донова. Und Sylvia Donova.
Just a second.
Okay.
Is got photo, and this is Asia.
And you know my name, but I will write it
Zasia
again.
or Asia. Well, pretty ancient name.
Great, thank you. Sylvia, if you could also share your thoughts on how familiar you were with using digital platforms before Yconic for teaching and learning.
Well, I have, thank you for the question. I have to admit that thanks to Yconic, I realized that I'm not very much into the topic. So it has brought to me special benefits. Benefits in order to, I mean, I have been given the opportunity first to take a closer look and then gather some insights. Before I've started teaching, well, I have graduated University of Economics, and with infrastructure and international communication or multicultural communication was the faculty specialty of university. And of course there we had energy, green energy is a topic, but I have to admit I was not really familiar before Yconic, even though like I said, it is an everyday topic. Not before I've started reading some guides and watching the short videos that were posted on the platform. I have realized, I mean, in details, the meaning of all the content and the message that has been sent through.
Okay, that's great. I think because that's the case, because the digital revolution is so exponential that it is sort of getting difficult by the minute for us to sort of adapt ourselves. But the kids of the current generation are able to somewhat, sort of adapt to it and sort of grow with it. I think that's I think is the digital divide. But yeah, I just wanted to know your perspectives on the same.
And you know,
yeah.
I'm sorry, and
No,
I
no,
just
please.
wanted I just wanted to add something. You know, for me, I found it really challenging to. I teach economics and tourism, and I found it really challenging to connect, because electricity and the topic of you know, converging the whole energy systems, I mean, the whole energetic system is part of the economy, actually. And for me, it was really difficult to go into details and get specific, you know, because when it gets to specific knowledge, then it is a little bit more challenging. This is what I encountered for my personal experience.
Okay, okay, that's great to know. Yeah, I mean, coming to the experience on the Yconic platform, how would you describe your initial experience? Because when Yconic was launched, all we gave you was the idea of a platform with overarching themes of energy transition, climate change, digitalization, and social justice. So was it different, you know, when you sort of embarked on that journey of, you know, disseminating knowledge to students? Was it different, or was it similar to what you had thought about the Yconic platform, you know, when you got to experience it?
So I was involved from the very beginning in developing ideas related to the platform content, and so this gave me opportunity to explain to my colleagues, what the platform will include and what is the purpose of the platform. Initially, the headmaster selected the colleagues who will work, but it was the previous headmaster, and he selected who will work on the project, and he decided, because it is related to our geographical curriculum, to be geography teachers, English and fine arts teacher, because on different terms is to express their thoughts and their feelings by paintings. So that's why the headmaster decided, but you have a new headmaster, and some of teachers that start with us, they are not with us. They don't continue with us, so we have to choose another teachers. But what is, if I move to the onboarding process, was the onboarding process clear and helpful? So I think for me, it was very important to be part of the meeting in Paris, because it helps me to understand better the ideas of the project. So this adaptational onboarding process was clearly presented at this meeting, and all the online working meetings also were very useful. I hope that you agree with me, Sylvia. Although we were not able to participate in all of these meetings, you can see now what happens today. I organized the meeting, but they decided to minimize the time of the classes, so Zhivka can not explain her thoughts, but tomorrow, maybe next meeting, when you organize with the teachers from Spain, she will express her thoughts. But the project team helped us with a lot of letters of explanation, even though we can present to all these meetings. We have letters with explanation how to work with the platform, which all these letters, so all these meetings were helpful for us. And the work with students, what I think, the work with students began even before the platform was fully ready, to work with, which I think is such an obstacle, a problem. And students have problems to their access to the platform, availability of all developed topics as well as tools for work. I think next year, because the platform is ready, already exist, and we can start with all these tools and informations related to these 4 topics. It will be the work with the platform, and the results will be better than than nowadays. So it is some kind of so how to say, because you ask what could have made it easier or what we can change. So it was a problem now, but next year, if everything is clear on the platform, we may plan our work as a teachers better than this school year.
Maybe more practical. It is actually good that it is practical and gives provides some practical knowledge for the students via videos and content. Well, this is especially what I like very much, because we were able in class to form a discussion, open up a discussion, and then just look at our real life and then connect the whole content in all 4 spheres: social justice and climate change. So the feedback of the students is actually provided, is actually very useful. And like Asia says, maybe next year we'll be able to upgrade the achieved results up to now.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. I think this is very important moving forward, because I think the synergies of the teachers, the students, and the Yconic platform, admin, is that we'll have to create the synergies to sort of keep it in sync moving forward, so that we have proper communication and exchange of information and nothing gets lost in translation also. So I think we will definitely keep that in mind. I think we'll have a separate feedback after the interview. There'll be a poll. You can give your feedback on that. Yeah, how did you feel, Sylvia? Since I just wanted to understand your perspective on how the onboarding process was. What could have sort of made it a lot easier for to onboard the students, because it's not an easy task to get the students onto the platform and make them engage. So what do you think as for the onboarding is concerned?
For the onboarding, I think that the words and meanings and terminology, what I have found out is that the students don't know the meaning of. We think it's simple. We as teachers might think, okay, it's clear, but what could have been done better is to make a kind of vocabulary, picture vocabulary, where particular meanings are maybe explained in more than one way, because they don't know. For example, I can give you a precise example. They don't know what condense means. Like in the topic with climate change, I found it difficult to go into explanation of certain, because this is the basics, right? They have to know what it means in order to get on board. And I would like to suggest to do like a little, it's not necessary to be a big dictionary, but something, it would be very helpful if we have just a little guide, a few pages on every specific topic. On climate change, first they have to understand really the meanings of, and then we can form a discussion, because when I open up a discussion and started asking questions, all the time given that I had for the class, I had to focus on particular explanations. Because social justice, due to, for example, climate change was the one topic and social justice was the other. I had to give precise practical examples and then look at other European countries, because we have different standards and levels that the students should be familiar with, or at least informed about. So I think these, with the term explanation, was one of the things.
Oh, thank you very much, Sylvia. But I just wanted to clarify here. So what I wanted to know was how the teachers and students were able to sort of register onto the platform and also, access and navigate through the platform. That is, when onboarding, it's very difficult to make the students understand, and even the teachers to also access the lesson plans and, the way in which the website goes by, because we are just introduced to a new website, right? And
Yeah,
suddenly you don't know what is there. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
I personally, I can share my experience. I personally had to log in, not log in, but sign in. Go through the registration process many times. I don't know, maybe four times, because it was a technical. There is a technical time I had to wait up, and then again. So very often, maybe the students were facing the same problems, but what I did was or maybe 4 or 5 students were logged in successfully. So we have widescreen their account, and we could go and in the platform and view different content through students' accounts. For example, at that time, my registration profile was not ready, at least not yet. And I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we could actually, this is how the discussion and onboarding was. We just played the platform on our multimedia, right? And then we started step by step, clicking here and there, and let's see now this topic, climate change. Let's see what we have. Even students were very excited that they could write to Greta Thunberg. They asked me, okay, so we can get in touch with her and ask her questions. I don't think it was really difficult. The one thing that was not really properly understood is that there is a technical time. And, I was taken by surprise that students were a little bit impatient, and they expected that with one click everything could be managed. And I explained that there are technical procedures that need time. So due to that, tomorrow we can try again. What I wanted to say, my personal experience is that I had to register more than 4 times, and every time I had to fill in the same information. Just introduce myself, and every time I did that, 4 times I was successfully logged in. But next time when I try to log in, I have the same problem. So I have to, go repeatedly the steps over. Okay. So this might have been a little bit more time consuming, but okay.
Yeah.
I agree with Sylvia because so working with the platform requires to be familiar with the content, to be familiar with all tools in the platform. Some tools take more time in order to understand how to use them. For example, the explanation how to create a wiki page. As a teachers, we need more explanations. And on these online meetings, there was explanation, but we ask to make a video, Hector, how to create a wiki page. And we think that for some of the students that work with the platform, it's also be difficult to do this without explanations. So
Yeah. So on
we
that
need
note,
we need these explanations in advance.
sure.
But we work with, so it is the phase of the project that we look for all the obstacles, all the difficulties, and we will overcome them as a result of our work on this second year.
Sure. Thank you very much. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's very true. It's very difficult to, get into a platform and without knowing where is what, navigating through that is very tough. So also, I would like your brief comments on how, easy for you it was to, or difficult for you it was to navigate across the platform. And was there any sort of help given by the Yconic team? Were there anybody to explain as to how the platform works or the website works? Was there anything of that sort in the beginning, or how was it? Just the navigating experience. I think you've said much about navigating, but there's a very precise question that I wanted to get your answer on.
I think it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say for me it was interesting, even though I was not into my account. Well, in my account, I had the opportunity for, let's say, for about 40 minutes to click here and there and see how that works, and just go through, play some interactive content. But for me, it was more like interesting. What will come next? How it's gonna be. Uh, how does it work? Because I knew there is nothing. Nothing could go wrong.
Okay.
So just exploring the content, and yeah, the just following steps. I have an idea how a website or a platform map looks like, right? So it was interesting, I would say.
Okay. Thank you. But was there anybody to guide you on how to access or navigate the platform?
Well, sure. There was Hector and the team, the Yconic team.
Yes, the Yconic team, they come first in Bulgaria. They have a meeting with our students and Marilyn.
And
they explain the platform, what will be in the platform, where they can, they will have a students area, and what they can do in this students area. We have such meeting before starting our real work with the platform, and students also were familiar with the platform before starting work with the platform.
Yeah, this was in the something like in the pre-phase. We had theoretically we have gone through the general navigation process, about the content, and students were informed step by step. Well, it was, of course, a little bit in general, because specifics were not really ready yet, and they were not at that phase of project phase, were not needed really, but we were provided help on every step.
Okay.
Every step of the process, we were assisted and provided with information, written and oral. Yeah, some videos. We had even, absolutely, the navigation process was clear, right?
Yes, yes.
You agree on that?
Great. Great. So now moving on to the lesson plans and the content. I mean, how clear were the lesson plans, and how relevant do you think the lesson plans are to the topics that were covered, and how relevant were they to your curriculum? How was it? Was it very easy to integrate? I mean, too many questions, but yeah.
Yes, yes. Uh, what concerns the lessons plans, I think that they are extremely useful for us because they are developed according to the methodological guidelines and include the sequential of activities to achieve the lesson objectives. So they start with the brainstorm, and there is explanation how to do this. There is a discussion hour after that, and every step was described in the lesson plans, which I think is professional made methodologically it was great. So these lesson plans help me, of course, in some topics to of course, it's not so easy to uh, adapt these topics because they cover more things that we have to cover in our curriculum. So we have to adapt them. We have to choose. It is some kind of creative work. It's neither easy nor difficult to do because integrating lesson plans depends of our creativity, depends on teacher experience, the attitudes to accomplish this, and it also requires technological time for us as a teachers to adapt the lesson plans. But we have a lot of experience, and we choose. So if you want to use the whole lesson, to use the lesson plans as a whole, we can this opportunity in our regular classes. If you want to use the whole steps in the lesson plans and the whole time that required in the lesson plans, you have to use another time, not a regular school time. But we have some club activities, and we can use the hours of these club activities to present the whole activities, lesson plans. So I think that the teachers from other school will also say the same because our time is one lesson is 40 minutes. And in these 40 minutes, you have to cover the objectives of our curriculum, subject curriculum. And that's why I use, uh, not the whole lesson plans, but only part of this.
Okay. Thank you. Sylvia, I would also like to ask you that how comfortable were you teaching, I mean, passing on the content of the lesson plans into classrooms? And were you comfortable, because these are relatively new topics. I think for the current generation also it is very new. And given the changing themes and the content of subjects such as climate change, because it's expanding rapidly. So how comfortable were you in sort of, disseminating the lessons?
Well, I absolutely agree with Dacia. I took the information was very very useful. So
Yes.
what I did, like choosing out of a menu, I took some very useful information provided. I have spent like maybe 14 hours from January up to now. I have covered 14 hours talking about, I even have written activities, work that students have covered. And I found it really useful because I've presented the topic, gone through like step by step, like presenting a foreign language. We were covering 10 words and meanings and terminology. And afterwards, what I did was disseminating a test, a quiz. It was more a quiz just to get a feedback what they managed to understand, to grasp, and where I need to go a little bit deeper and develop the topic or a little bit more. And I found it really, but the content provided in the platform, with no doubt, it was really very useful and provided me ready. I had the materials there. I have the MP4 materials. I had the explanations were there. So on my side, I had to find the right time and approach to disseminate the important topic of climate change, social justice, and energy conversion. So yeah, it was. I had fun, actually. I have to admit, it was fun for me. I mean, both students and
Great.
because I have seen the most positive result, which I consider a great benefit, was that the students started realizing what are the after how it says, oh my god, I'm sorry, I just missed the word, get out of my mind, the results, what actually brings how human activity is in connected with the climate change, and what which we started, the students started like providing order in the whole process, or at least a little bit started to understand the consequences.
Okay.
Right? So this was very important for me. And
So,
games, I miss the game, the gaming part, the gamification of we have enough interactive materials, the information is there, but the gamification, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Because if
They like
they like
games.
to play games, and if we have some content in the form of a game, it would be great. We have Kahoo.
Yeah.
So we even played some interactive games, but the platform, I don't want to I want to stay focused on the topic. The platform provided very useful information.
okay. So by that means, I think you I mean, you do agree that the lesson plan also effectively delivered the intended knowledge and objectives that it aimed to set out on?
100%. Yeah.
Great. Sofia, do you also think that
Yes, I agree. Yes, I
okay.
agree with Sylvia.
Well, of course, we had difficulties, but the challenges bring us opportunities to learn and grow and develop. So, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like a good pilot is known by the tempests and storms that he has flew in. I think the best part of a project or an engagement with the exercise with the students is also somewhat in the likes of that. So moving forward with the student engagement, so what are some of the strategies, as you said, gamification of some of the things actually helped in communicating better to students. So what do you think some of the strategies, I think very briefly, what do you think are some of the strategies that actually encourage students to participate? Did you notice, I mean, I'm not going to specify the question because I don't want to complicate it, but what I'm trying to understand here is there any unique strategy that you as teachers sort of employ to increase participation of students, like answering quizzes or joining the chat rooms or making more interaction on the platform? Was there any sort of specific nudging is a word I can use, but yeah.
So the motivation of students to work, I think, first of all, it was based on the connection with the educational content, because I said them that they will learn more about the climate change, about the energy transitions, because transition, as well as not so for the social justice, because from the perspective of learning.
I'm sorry, Asya, I think we're losing you.
Social justice, but to them is that it will have
Internet
because of the internet connection.
speed, low
Yeah.
network brand. Okay.
Okay, so the motivation of students to work was based on the connection with the educational content, and as well as I said them that working with the platform, Yconic platform, will help them to better study the topics. They will have better understanding of these topics that are part of our geographical curriculum. So they also, I told them that they will communicate with their peers from other countries. I said them that the countries they are students from Italy, from Spain, and they it is motivated them, and they were. So some of the students, because the motivation of different students is so the motivation of students is different for each one, because some of them they want to communicate with peers, some of them want to create their own materials. So it depends of the students, the motivation, and also you ask about the changes in the students' engagement or understanding of the key terms, but we have no criteria by which we can evaluate this change. I think so. We can. I can't say what exactly is. There is a great engagement, but maybe the things that I know, that the awareness for the topics of the topics in the platform is move up. So the awareness rise. I'm absolutely sure for this, but I can say that they were more engaged with these themes because I have actually a real criteria to do this.
Uh,
Can I add something? You know,
sure.
in the just focusing on the gamification, I wanted to add that maybe it would be really nice if we could, you know, the team could develop like making a quiz, then the games to integrate the quiz within the game, because they have to know certain level of knowledge in order to pass through to next level in the game, right? And connecting the quizzes with the game might be more um, might bring more interest, or get them more involved in the topic of social. Because for example, if they don't understand immediately, because the topics are not easy, right? They have to they're pretty young, and I would say don't have any life experience, so their perspective of self-evaluation is pretty low. And even though, like Asia says, engagement would be great, they need appropriate game to illustrate that. And in the climate change, I think that it would be wonderful if they have an idea, or at least are being introduced through an illustrated how the process in climate change goes, right? And if this could be in the form of gamification, if it's not, I know it takes all kind of resources, but even if it is up to now, I think it's good enough. At least provides good understanding of the message and knowledge, of course. But gamification would only attract their attention even more
Yeah.
and bring them into next level of knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think also that the students, they like to compete each other. So I noticed that when we take a certain subject, so a certain theme, for example, climate change, and they started to chat, and they wanted to compete with the other peers from the other countries regarding to their publication, and they write something related to the team, and they look for the other students, and they and say, oh, I have three publication and he has only one publication. But if you do some game with like like a competition, or
The game
maybe yes, the game will be a good
Yeah, sure. I think we'll take that into consideration. I think every feedback of yours is just, I think, as a pointer for us to sort of improve the platform. I mean, I also wanted to hear from Sylvia about how students responded to the activities and content on the platform, and how were there any changes that you were able to notice as a teacher? It's not something that, as I think Asya said, is not something that we can measure, because it's not going to be a kind of an examination that we are going to do or sort of assess the students' knowledge one by one. The primary aim of this exercise is to understand whether there is a collective knowledge gap that is being filled, or if there's some sort of empowerment is happening in terms of literacy. So what I would like to know is, were there any challenges that you faced in engaging the students, or or if not, then, I mean, were there widespread engagement by your students on the platform?
It was not a challenge. It was, I would say, a pleasure to observe that, usually when they go in a break, they discuss something about their friends, boyfriends, girlfriends. But when the lesson was, the class was finished, and they didn't want to leave the room. They continued the discussion about climate change, about social justice, because they really started getting connected, or infected. I would say, in a good sense, right? Infected with the meaning and getting into the content. I heard them walking down the hall. I heard them communicating between them about topics in climate change and energy. So the one said to the other, "Oh, now I know why in Bulgaria prices are a little bit higher, because of the energy." So they started. It was really a pleasure for me to watch them um, get into the process of understanding. And maybe I was thinking to say great thanks for the opportunity. This is really, I believe that there's no opportunity without challenges. So if that is considered to be a challenge, yeah, I want to share it with you.
Thank you very much. I think, again, coming back to the point, I think students are, I mean, I wouldn't say confined, because during the formative years, their experience of the world comes from classrooms, and much of their knowledge imparted comes from what the teachers say about the world. And it's a very important thing that will shape them. And as teachers, it's a great job that you are doing, managing the students, because I was in India, I was in a school last week, and it's not easy to manage a classroom of 40 kids with different ideas and different, I mean, impulsive in a very, very good way. I'm saying kids are very, very, their mind changes, a kind of attention span that they have on topics that they like. It's very, very difficult to bring in all their ideas and expressions into, a platform like Yconic. But the primary aim of Yconic is to sort of introduce the kids in the classroom to the outside world about what's happening on climate change, what's happening on digitalization, social justice, and energy transition. And I think the experience of the real world is what is, bringing them together, making them talk even after classroom hours. So I think this form of engagement, I think, is definitely going to not only improve the students' literacy, but is also, I think, it's going to be unfair, because it's going to make you people work a lot, because the students will become more demanding with more and more information given to them, because the kind of questions they ask, the kind of things that they're going to approach to you for will make your job more demanding. I apologize for that. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
yeah, moving, yeah, sure,
I'm
you wanted to
sorry.
share something,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to add to what you're saying, that students come to me and say, for example, what is energy conversion? So they cannot imagine how the process can be converted, then um, transferred, and what is the how does that affect the economy, right? Because we in class, with examples, we go through different types of economies, right? But they get uh, they get more and more involved in the process and ask active questions, concerning the everyday life.
Okay. I think that's very nice to hear. I think students are becoming more and more curious, I think, by the day,
Mhm.
and the kind of questions they ask is just mind blowing. I think it's across the world. I think it's not only just restricted to one country also. I mean, moving forward, I think what are the opportunities you think that Yconic platform has provided, and what are the challenges? As Sylvia said, I think opportunities do come with challenges. Then the following question would be, what are the main challenges that you encountered while using the platform? And I mean, necessarily, if you can highlight both of these, what do you think is ideal way to support you in overcoming these challenges?
So,
I mean, any of you, if you have answers, I think it's welcome.
so as we said, the platform gives us a lot of educational materials, selected resources on each topic. And we also have a lesson plans, developed lesson plans methodologically, and every teacher can adapt these materials to his subject curriculum. So I think it's so it's safe. No. Спестяване време is safe at that time.
Time efficient.
Because if you have these materials, if the teacher has these materials, it's not necessary to be in internet for hours to look for these materials, to complete them, so you have questions, we have resources, and it's helped us as a teacher.
Well, I just want to add here that actually not only I was very pleased and satisfied to see students interacting and talking about the topics. This is how I get a feedback that they are concerned, that they are interested, and that I have, done my job well. But I too, exactly like the students, I smiled before because I think that I too started reading articles about climate change very often. Apart from the Yconic platform was actually something like a booster that actually showed me or provoked some interest. So I started looking for researching white papers, getting to more articles. After I saw some very interesting video materials uploaded on the Yconic platform, I started, also getting more knowledge about specific knowledge, because the general knowledge, I'm afraid, is not enough. So this is what I encountered. So if you say challenges, I don't consider that as a challenge, because I know that overcoming, only when I can overcome challenge with knowledge, right, and find the right way. So for me, I just want to say that I've started learning, not learning, but reading more articles and learn more about getting specific knowledge, because I wanted to be prepared. And like you said, it's very hard to get students' attention on the topic. Sometimes they are not so motivated to be interested and say, okay, this is your project. One kid told me, this is your project, not mine. And I said, no, we are participating in this project together, So we, each and every one of us has his part, but it gave me actually the comfort to feel more to feel more competent and go into details with explanations. And what I did was looking for examples, providing students with good examples, not only in Europe but worldwide. So this is how they get connected in geography, economy, and we actually built this interactive subject connection.
And of course, for me, the main challenge is, as I said before, providing sufficient and additional teaching time to work with the platform and to have opportunity to carry out all the activities that are in the lesson plans. It's for me
But I think
as a challenge.
as an informal activity, this would be, I mean, informal teaching activity, this would be just a great, because students have their curriculum, school curriculum, and we actually follow our, class schedule. But if we have them as an informal education, I think this would be great as a future project. I mean, I'm thinking for a future project or activity that might be very helpful in connection to this very wonderful project.
I think thank you. I think I could kind of see the knowledge and wisdom of the teachers already. I think it was very nice of I think Sylvia to say that the knowledge itself is a challenge where you have to the challenge itself is something that's opportunistic. The kind of optimism that the teachers carry, I think it's very happy to see. I mean, although we were expecting some challenges, but yeah, I think it makes sense. It's only wise to say it that way. So, I mean, I will open up a poll now, but before that, what I mean, overall, how do you find the platform? I think you've answered the question. So, moving on to the next question, what aspects of the platform did you find most useful or effective? I mean, any one of you could answer. I think we are stuck.
Everything is for us very useful. The gathering of all these materials on one place, searching them in the internet, because they are related to certain themes, and these themes are part of our curriculum. So I think that everything was useful for us, and the experience that we gain as a result of work with the with the platform, the experience with working of these digital platforms, because we rise up our experience in using the platform, the digital. So we learn about new tools, digital tools that you can use. We can use not only as tools in these platforms, but we can use in the future. We can transfer our knowledge to the other, to a new, we can transfer the knowledge to our future projects, our future work. So I think that it is useful not only for us as a teacher, but it is useful for the students and gives opportunity to develop their citizenship knowledge, to be more active for the in their everyday life, and to develop their sustainable future also, because they learn about the problems of nowadays, and they learn also, and they discuss also the opportunity to overcome, to cope with these problems, because they are not problems on a certain place or in a certain country, but there are global problems. So this platform gives us opportunity, as a teacher and students also, to be an active citizenship and to think about their future and maybe to make their future more sustainable, I think.
Okay.
I just want to add a comment, one sentence. I think that it was very, very useful because it provides general to specific information, and students get the chance to um, either on a very basic level get informed, or at least a little seed, like getting the introduced to the very general information, and then gets into specific details. This is what I love about the platform, because it provides also teachers and students to both, according to their level of knowledge, either get general information or a little bit more specific and move on, because like Asia said, they get in touch with other students from other European countries involved in the project, and they widen their spectrum of understanding, and not only specific, curriculum knowledge, but also human knowledge, a multicultural and interpersonal knowledge. So if I have to conclude, specific to general to specific knowledge, actually this spectrum was what I love most about the platform, because kids, they learn a little bit and then move on to the next level and next level, and this is how they actually gather specific knowledge. This is what I like most.
Thank you very much. Is there any improvement that you would like to add for the platform? As in any sort of improvement?
Yeah, actually, kids, I have even in my backpack written. Maybe I should post them somewhere. I have written activities. Students talking about how many energy transaction transmission.
Mhm.
Energy transition was energy transition was the topic, and they have, because we are moving closer to the end of the school year, so I said, okay, let's do a written activity. I want each and every one of you to write what is power plant. I actually was very inspired from the videos I got in the platform. So they watched the video, and then after that they wrote a short summary what they understood from the video. this
Okay.
this this is actually I consider a great result.
Okay. Uh, I mean, is there any improvements that you would suggest that has to be done for the platform to make it more effective for the students or teachers? Anyone?
What do you think about to create a STEM lesson, science, technology, engineering, and maths lessons? I thought to make at least one lesson plan for such STEM lesson, which
Definitely.
I think is a good opportunity to see the yes, to save the time, to students to think systematically, to see the world as a system, because we have a separate teams,
Blocks.
but if they look a whole picture in one STEM lesson, I think it will be
Well, it's not
a good
step step by step. If eyes open up so fast and quickly, maybe they can go blind. But
I think it's a great suggestion, but I think as a precursor to that, I think it would be better if we start with how many, a general show of hands as to how many students are willing to learn STEM lessons after Yconic. Maybe I think maybe you can pass that question to your students, and you can, by show of hands or any specific response that you could get back and give us as a feedback through mail or WhatsApp would be also great. I think this is a very important question. I think, thanks, Asya. I think it's very important that we address this, because the accuracy of climate forecast and the kind of talks that are going on, there are some sort of baseless, politically motivated conversations also happening in the name of climate change and in the name of energy transition. So it is very, very important, high time that these kind of discussions are brought forward. Thank you very much. But before I would, leave you after a very long conversation, is that the poll that I'll be launching, just an 8-question poll. Please submit your response. So I think you will get the poll now. Have you gotten the poll? Yeah. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Can we submit it later, or we have to do it now, right now?
So this is just a part of the Zoom meeting link. So it'll be great. It's just 8 questions.
Okay. So we have to we will finish the meeting with fulfilling, the quizzes. Yeah, how comfortable were you accessing online platform? How easy was it to find and use lesson plans? Well, I think easy.
Easy.
And scroll. How successful were you in getting students to assign articles on the platform? Well, this was not very easy exercise, actually. Somewhat. Okay, maybe somewhat successful. Yeah, would be. And how efficient was the platform in enabling students to participate in the quizzes? That was pretty easy, very effective. Yeah. Were you able to successfully encourage students in engaging on the chat rooms? Well, not everybody were active, actually. 5 of the students that I have were more 5, only 5 I have, but I don't know. Somewhat successful, yeah. And how would you rate your overall experience using the platform? Yeah, excellent. No doubt about it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend the Yconic platform to other schools? Oh, yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Yes.
Very likely. And the last one, the last one is, please share any suggestions or challenges you faced while using platform for lesson planning. Or okay, so do you want to write the suggestion?
Just write 2 sentences or 1 sentence or
Okay. No problem. Ще ги напишем.
Айде, давай да се съчиняваме.
Oops, okay. Oops, okay. Точка, what I do here. Oops.
have you clicked on submit?
Yeah, just now. Okay.
Окей, добре.
Oh my goodness, is it right? Thank you for the opportunity. Gamification is one, is great, and one of the options, and one of the options we would like to suggest. Okay. And something else you said. Something else, or you said, but first like we follow your advice to find out how many students would like to have STEM lessons, and then maybe
because we have classes with such profile, one class has
okay,
such profile.
after researching, oops, and doing some okay, I think STEM.
I hope. Okay.
Interesting perspective. Okay, I think these are not 500 words, but I have to go to 500, right?
You know, you don't have to go to 500. The maximum is 500. There's
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Please,
Then
please. You can just submit it. Yeah. You could have asked me. Okay. Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk. I mean, with translation, I think it's very difficult to communicate. Thank you so much for taking the effort to talk and
Thank
share
you.
your thoughts. And just one last takeaway is that, I mean, moving on to the rollout phase, or I just want the conversations that you mentioned that you had in classrooms. It would be great if you could nudge the students to take those conversations into the chat rooms, and please assure them that they will not be judged, and they will not be sort of because a lot of students shy away from typing in chat rooms because they will be judged for their views. No sort of judgment will be there. It is purely a data driven project that we are doing, so, and their data is also safe, so there is nothing they have to be worried about. And as from our end, we would just like to thank you very much for taking the effort. It was great interacting with you. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
But do you think that I can suggest them when I give them their writing papers back? Do you think they can actually post them somewhere as a photo in the platform?
I think you will have to check that with Marilyn and Pia, because yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So because
thank you so much.
I'm from India, so GDPR I wouldn't know. So yeah, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Regards to India. Bye bye. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yeah, and Andrea,
Bye-bye.
just a
Thank
minute.
you.
Andrea, just a minute. I want to just talk. Yeah, you can leave. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Andrea, just 1 second. I think this was a Bulgaria school, right? I think the Spain people haven't joined. I sent them the link.
Yeah, they sent an email while you were on the interview, saying that they would need to rearrange the meeting because they weren't able to join. That's a pity.
Okay, that's a pity. So I was just wondering where they were. I think then we'll have to schedule it for the next week then, because
Yeah.
yeah. But let's see.
Maybe.
That's the reason why I was just freaking out during the first few minutes of the call, because I did not get any of the response. So I was just freaking out for the first couple of minutes, and then yeah.
No, but congratulations, because I think that it was difficult to handle, and you did it gracefully and on time. So congratulations. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
also
Thank
for
you.
me, it was nice to be here, so I can gather teachers' perspective ahead of the interviews. I mean, ahead of the focus groups.